Have you ever pondered the mystery of why life's trials often befall the virtuous? Let's explore the biblical account of Job, a man celebrated for his righteousness and dedication. Job was a man blessed with abundant wealth and a large family, a symbol of prosperity and piety. However, his life was far from challenge-free. A dispute erupted in the celestial realm when Satan, the adversary, dared to question God. He challenged the Almighty, arguing that Job's faith was merely a byproduct of his wealth. He daringly suggested that if Job's fortunes were to alter, his faith would disintegrate. Satan's challenge was not dismissed lightly. Instead, it sparked a divine experiment, a deep dive into the nature of human faith and resilience. God, certain of Job's steadfast devotion, permitted Satan to test Job. He consented to let his loyal servant's life be turned upside down. And thus, God permitted Satan to test Job's faith, setting the scene for one of the most significant stories of human suffering and resilience. As the proverbial wheel of fortune turns, Job finds himself in the eye of a storm. In a series of swift and devastating blows, calamity descends upon Job. Once a wealthy man, blessed with a large family and abundant livestock, Job suddenly finds his fortune swept away. Raiders plunder his property, his servants are slain, and his livestock, his symbols of prosperity, are decimated. But the trials of Job do not end there. A windstorm strikes the house where his children are feasting, causing it to collapse and kill them all. In the blink of an eye, Job loses his precious offspring, the apples of his eye. The magnitude of this loss is unimaginable, and yet, the trials continue. Job is afflicted with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. His body, once strong and healthy, is now a source of constant torment. His physical suffering mirrors his emotional anguish, adding another layer to his trials. Despite these severe trials, Job's faith remains unshaken. Even when his wife, in her despair, suggests that he should curse God and die, Job refuses. He responds with a powerful statement of faith: "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" His words serve as a testament to his unwavering faith, even in the face of unimaginable suffering. Job chooses not to curse God, but to question his fate. He wrestles with his pain, his loss, his confusion, but never does he let go of his faith. He does not understand why he is suffering, but he chooses to trust in God's wisdom and sovereignty. He stands firm, a beacon of faith in the midst of his trials. In the midst of his suffering, Job maintained his integrity, choosing to question his fate rather than his faith. His story is a powerful reminder that even in our deepest pain, we can choose to hold on to our faith, to believe in the goodness of God, even when we cannot see it. In the face of adversity, we often turn to friends for comfort and advice. And so it was with Job. When his three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, heard of his trials, they came to his side. They sat with him, shared his grief, and offered their counsel. Their intentions were genuine. Their words, however, were misguided. Eliphaz, the first to speak, suggested that Job's suffering was a punishment for sin. Bildad, quick to agree, asserted that Job's children must have sinned for such calamity to befall their father. Lastly, Zophar, the youngest, argued that Job's misfortune was proof of his guilt. Their counsel, in essence, laid blame on Job for his misfortune, proposing that his suffering was a result of his own actions. Yet, Job rejected their claims. Despite his circumstances, he held firm to his belief of his innocence. He refused to accept that his suffering was a consequence of sin. Job, however, rejects their claims, steadfast in his belief of his innocence. The clouds of despair part when the divine intervenes. Picture the scene where God, in all his majesty, responds to Job's lamentations, offering a divine perspective on human suffering. God's response, a whirlwind of questions, underscores the grandeur of his creation and the limits of human understanding. As Job grapples with the divine dialogue, he is humbled. He acknowledges that he has spoken of things too wonderful for him to comprehend, recognizing God's wisdom and infinite power. Job's humility and unwavering faith are rewarded, not with explanations, but with divine restoration. In a grand reversal of fortune, Job receives twice as much as he had before. His flocks multiply, his family flourishes, and he lives to see 4 generations, a long and fulfilled life. Job's story, a tale of faith and resilience, ends not in despair, but in restoration and celebration. So what can we learn from Job's story? In the face of adversity, Job's tale encourages us to hold steadfast in our faith, a beacon of hope in the storm of hardship. It reminds us of the enigma of divine wisdom, an intricate tapestry woven with threads of mystery. Most importantly, it reveals the potential for restoration and renewal, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the end, Job's story teaches us that even in the darkest of times, faith can illuminate the path to restoration and renewal.